court. Last night, the Court of Justice officially opened for business. And Miller found out the hard way what happens when you try to break the rules around here. But that was just the beginning. From now on, all crimes on Mayhem will not go unpunished, and everyone will be summoned to the Court of Justice for overstepping their station. Miller has had his punishment, and I hope, for his own sake, he isn't stupid enough to try and come back for more. Today, though, the court is in session as we put Dixon on trial. Dixon is charged with the assault of me 2 weeks ago, as well as unsportsmanlike conduct violations, sneak attacks, and several other crimes against the justice movement. After reflecting on all the evidence from both sides, the Court of Justice declares Dixon to be guilty. And for your punishment, Dixon, lethal injection, spear, and as further punishment for the sheer level of your crimes, we are removing you as hardcore champion. We will happily take that off your hands for the time being. Will the rest of the team please bring him down for sentencing? Skeens is out of his mind, I'm telling you. You really think that Dixon is just gonna... Oh no, Dixon is coming, but not by choice. Look at this. Justice taking him out here, bringing him down here to the ramp with an absolute ambush here. The hardcore champion getting taken out by the justice movement themselves, and they are bringing punishment for what they believe is a crime against them. This is ridiculous. Someone's got to put a stop to justice. They can't just keep doing this week in, week out, ambushing top stars. Just like Dixon, just because they lost the match. But look at this. Dixon trying to fight back now. Not giving in, not letting them get away with this. But look at this right now, Nathaniel just trying to keep him in control and tossing him towards the ring. And this is not good. Now Lachlan going to stamp down on him as well. Dixon's still fighting back though. Dixon is trying to fight strong, but right now the numbers game is just not in his favour. He's got no one to help him. And Dixon might have to just try and defend this on his own. Oh, but look at this. He's still fighting back. The numbers advantage. He's trying to still fight back against them, but still, it's to no avail. Look at now, Nathaniel showing off in front of the crowd, to much of their displeasure as the hardcore champion gets wiped out again. And this is just ridiculous. Do they really think that they're doing good doing this? That you think that this is justice? This is just nothing but revenge and selfish attacks here from them. Oh, look at that, crashing him right into the ring post. And there is just no need for this. Look at this. Unnecessary levels of punishment here from Lachlan and AD Nathaniel, who beating him down now on the ramp. And Dixon hardly can even tell what's hit him right now. He's been absolutely beaten down here by Lachlan and Nathaniel. Oh, and another Russian leg sweep on the double. And Skeens just waiting in the ring. You know he's waiting to deliver punishment here. And look at this, tossed him into the ring now. And this is not good. The whole ring surrounded by Justice members. Poor Dixon has nothing. He's still trying to get up, but still wiped out. And look at these two now setting up for, as promised, another lethal injection. Brutal assault to Dixon here. And they're still not done. Look at this, continuing to attack Dixon. There's just no need for this level of a beatdown to one man. He's just a man, he doesn't need it. Oh no, not again. Another setup for a second lethal injection. And Skeens looks like he's coming into the fray now as well. There's just no need. The two lethal injections, more than what was promised. Does he really need a spear on top of all this? Skeens gonna give it to him anyway. The WIW champion flattening Dixon. Oh no, not again. There's just no need. No! Takes him out again. And I guess now they're gonna try and pin him and take the title. Oh, but it looks like they cleared the ring. It looks like Nathaniel is gonna be the one to try and take it. Slams him down on the neck with a driver there. Unbelievable. This is just so much damage, so much pain caused down, and Dixon is defenseless, a mission hold applied. Is he about to lose the hardcore title on his first night as champion? He is, he's forced to tap, and now look at this. Dixon not being released until absolutely, completely out cold. And we have a new hardcore champion to kick off the show. A brutal assault by Lachlan, AD Nathaniel, and the WIW champion Brad Skeens. Dixon had no choice but to surrender after the huge beatdown at the hands of the Justice Movement. And I cannot believe I'm saying these words to kick off the show, but we have a new WIW hardcore champion, and his name is AD Nathaniel. And the thing is now, who's going to take that from him? The Justice Movement, if they all stayed together, could hold on to that tag team hardcore title, for a very long time, because they're all together and they have the numbers advantage. This could be very, very dangerous. The Justice Movement growing more powerful by the night here in WIW. But we do have to move on with tonight's main card. What a shocking start though. Who is going to be able to dethrone Justice right now? I don't know, but it is time to kick off tonight's show. Well, I didn't think that we'd be starting today's show with a new champion, but ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and we've already seen the first change in hands of the Hardcore Championship today. Wow, crazy stuff to start the show, and Justice really are running wild here on Mayhem, but we got to get into some real action now, and we are kicking things off with Kaiju. He is looking to bounce back. The Road to Glory Season 2 winner was beaten last time out to Haley Bowen, the current Mayhem Women's Champion, after she came out, stuck her neck out on the line to claim that she is the person who deserves the next shot at the Women's Championship. And Kaiju, of course, beat the #1 contender, Tiffany Abbott, before Bowen did at the Resurrection pay-per-view, and it was quite a clean beating, it had to be said. Tiffany Abbott's really going to have to go back to the drawing board for her next plan, but for Kaiju, if she wants to prove that she's next in line for a Women's Championship opportunity, she's got to get in the ring and prove it. She's got to shake off the loss last week to Bowen, and she has got to improve. Bowen definitely earning the title of Monster Slayer, because Kaiju is not an easy person to beat. But Haley Bowen managed to do it, and she showed why she is the current Women's Champion. But tonight she's got a tough task as well. A former Women's #1 contender in Adrian Reyes, the manager of El Estrella Chico, the star boy who makes his debut of season #2 later on tonight in some cruiserweight action. But Adrian Reyes looking to make her own stamp on things here in WIW on the red brand still for season #2, but hasn't been the most successful of starts for her to season #2. She really started to pick up her stride towards the end of season #2, and I think she can be a top star. She's just missing that finishing touch that can get the job done. But Reyes is a real threat to the women's division. Bowen knows that firsthand. She had to really struggle to put her away when she won her first championship. Here we go, bell rings, and away we go. Kaiju and Adrian Reyes, two women who are going to be desperately searching for this win. They need it to show that they are ready for title contention. Reyes made a couple of weeks ago. Kaiju made a huge statement saying that she was ready for the Women's Champion already. She failed to prove it, and now she's back in the ring trying to redeem herself after the loss to the champion. And right now, just taking her frustrations out on Reyes, just tossing her around the ring. Oh, but well countered there and into a Hurricane Rana goes Reyes. Reyes, as we've mentioned before, has been in and around the title picture for a little while now. Towards the end of Season 2, she was really picking up some pace, really starting to get some momentum. Massive clothesline by Kaiju there. Kaiju, look at this. Begging her to get up here. What's she have in mind? Doesn't exactly look like the high-flying type, but Reyes ran right into that shoulder tackle, and she is forced to retreat. Reyes, as I mentioned, has been in and around the title picture, but it's just never quite found what she needed to get her hands on the title. And still, she fights on here. Look at this. Beautiful combination there rolls her through with a schoolboy, and perfectly places the roundhouse kick to the top of the skull. And that's what I'm saying, Reyes. She has such heart, such determination, the true fighting spirit. Of course, as you'd expect from being around the star boy Estrella Chico for so long. And now look at this, Reyes flying in with some elbows. And now Reyes trying to stay in control here, because you know what happens when Kaiju gets on a roll. She got off to a good start, but I think she killed the momentum a little early there. And Reyes now can take advantage. No, well countered by Kaiju. If Kaiju's going to get into the title picture, she needs wins like this. She needs to prove that she's the most dominant woman on the roster, especially after coming out last week and losing to the champion, a big shoulder tackle. And of course, we all know that Tiffany Abbott was beaten by Kaiju before earning a #1 contender spot. We also know that she got absolutely destroyed by Haley Bowen at the championship match at Resurrection. It was a comfortable first title defense for her. That is to be said. Look at that massive drop kick to the top of the head. The referee's count begins to rise, but she gets back in there relatively quick. Now looking for the submission. One of the most lethal submissions here in the women's division. It's put several of the top women away so far, and Reyes is no exception. She taps. Another quick and early win here for the dominant Kaiju. Once again showing why she is at the top of the rankings. Kaiju, with all that built-up frustration from last week's loss, she takes it out on Reyes tonight and gets the win. Oh, and look at the eyes of Kaiju. I don't think she's done taking out her frustrations, sending a message to Bowen. She wants her shot at the Women's Championship, and she doesn't care who she has to flatten to get that match. Kaiju, a dominant performance tonight, as you'd expect from someone like Kaiju. She needed the bounce back victory and she got it. But what does this mean? Has Bowen taken notice of Kaiju? And could we be looking at a potential new contender for the Women's Championship? We'll have to see in the upcoming weeks. But it's time to move on down the rest of the card. I am Durmus, and Durmus is here today with an important message for Wolfpac. As you know, we did not win our match at the Resurrection. We did not lose, but we just did not win. But we can assure you that will never happen again. And we have decided that we do not want to wait 4 weeks to get our titles back from those thieves. So tonight, Durmus and Black Jesus is going to cash in the rematch clause for the tag team championships tonight. So get ready, boys, because Durmus is here, and Durmus wants his gold back. Next up tonight, some cruiserweight action, and we are on the hunt for someone to step up to the plate on the Mayhem side of things to potentially face the cruiserweight champion in 4 weeks' time. And the first person down to the ring is the former cruiserweight champion himself, the first ever cruiserweight champion, in fact, Oliver Regem, one of the best strikers in the entire company, maybe in the entirety of wrestling. His striking power and prowess so dominant, and you see it in the way he fights. He's a true fighter, and tonight he steps up against the tough task. Now, to clarify, this is not a #1 contenders match, but this could go a long way in proving who is stepping up to the plate. Like Jake Griffiths said, he is taking on a lot of people, but he doesn't really have a challenge to bring to him right now. And we don't know yet if Dino D is going to go and face him on the Fight Night pay-per-view in 2 weeks' time for the Cruiserweight Championship. That could still be a possibility if Dino D chooses to drop that last pound and become 205. But on the Mayhem side of things, I'm sure there are plenty of Mayhem stars who are going to want a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship. Regen is one, but someone else we know who would desperately love that spot. Here he is, making his Season 2 debut as well as Regem. It is the Starboy, Estrella Chico, who I'm sure would desperately want some revenge on Jake Griffiths for the last time that these two squared off. The Starboy, a fantastic fighter, a true fan favorite, and the luchador never fails to disappoint when he's inside the ring. We all know what he is capable of, and I can't imagine he can't win the Cruiserweight Championship. He's a top fighter, he's a brilliant star, and he has been a part of some of my favorite matches of all time. I remember last year, roughly around this time, Jace versus Estrella Chico for the European Championship. It was one of my favorite matches of all time. Wasn't nominated for Match of the Year, but it definitely was up there in my opinion. And the Starboy has had many great matches since then. His battles with Jake Griffiths were fantastic as well, but he could never quite get his hands on the championship. Can he turn that around here in season number 2? Well, let's find out. Bell rings and away we go. Two brilliant cruiserweights here on the red brand trying to make themselves known. And you know Jake Griffiths, who isn't in attendance here tonight, thank God for that, everybody is safe, is watching on here. And after Jake Griffiths' failed attempt to become a double champion and capture the hardcore title, I'm sure he's watching this one with eager eyes. Estrella Chico, a fantastic star. The Cruiserweight division, so fast, so agile, and he's an absolutely lethal fighter. That 630 senton of his, such a lethal move. He's used it to full effect many a time. As for Regem, the first ever Cruiserweight champion, he's a fantastic striker. He can trade strikes with anyone and walk out the winner. Jake Griffiths, of course, the man who took it from him, and I'm sure Regem would love another opportunity to take the title back. Big suplex there by Regem. And Regem favoring the grappling out of the gate here. Usually very much a predominant striker, but right now just choosing to out-grapple Estrella Chico. Chico, of course, will be depending on his speed and agility here tonight. Will Regem be able to counter that? It looks like he already intends to. Beautiful lion salt straight into the cover, and the shoulder is up. And two people you know can cause Jake Griffiths problems, but that's the thing, they've got to stand out now. After Jake Griffiths has pretty much done a whole round of the Cruiserweight division, you've got to imagine that these guys are going to have to do something really special to show that they are ready for the opportunity to get another shot at Jake Griffiths. For both of these two, they have tried, and for both of them, they have failed. But surely one of these two can beat them on their day. They just need to build some momentum, and this win could go a long way in doing that here. Jake Griffiths, as I said, not in attendance, so they don't even have to worry about being ambushed after the fact. They just have to worry about the match tonight. Two of the best cruiserweights that we have on Mayhem squaring off tonight. And like we say on the Fight Night side, Dino D has stood out as a possible contender for Cruiserweight Championship, but we do not know if that's going to be the case. We don't know if he's going to clash with the Cruiserweight Champion for an actual title match. And there's the strike power I'm talking about from Regem. Beautiful work. But it's going to be interesting to see how things progress here in the Cruiserweight division. Right now it's very fuzzy. No certified potential champion contender, that is for sure. But we'll have to wait and see how things go. But for Regem, as I say, the first ever Cruiserweight champion, held it for about 3 months before dropping it to Jake Griffiths. Took on a few challenges in that time. Didn't have the greatest of showing as Cruiserweight champion, but to be fair, it was still pretty impressive. Managed to beat Travis Cottrell in that reign. Went a few rounds with Jake Griffiths, but he just couldn't manage to retain the title on that attempt. Beautiful suplex there by Estrella Chico. As for Chico, always in and around the title picture. You put him in a #1 contenders match, and I would edge him to win it 9 times out of 10. He's that good under high-pressure situations. But just for some reason, when it gets to the championship matches, no matter how hard he tries, no matter how hard he hits, he just can't keep his opponent down. And that's not anything against him or his ability, because if you've watched some of Chico's championship matches, he puts on hell of performances. And again, the Jace one comes to mind, gave everything he had, but Jace just refused to stay down. Beautiful discus clothesline there from Regem. And that's what I'm talking about, the striking power of Regem. And it's a great tool to have because it's fast, it's quick, it's hard to counter. And that's exactly what Regem brings to the table. Oh, look at this. Chico. Oh, Chico's going to get caught taunting here. Rolled up beautifully by Regem. Might pay the price here for taunting. And a 2 count is what he gets on the roll-up. Huge mistake made there by estrella Chico. Can he capitalize? No, he can't. A beautiful atomic drop there by Regem. And a huge mistake by Regem. By Chico might just cost him here. Regem lining up for the most lethal combination in the business. The Regen combo. Regen combo by Oliver Regem, and it's lights out for estrella Chico. Regem, the first ever Cruiserweight champion, showing himself why he actually is at the top of that card. Beautiful work there from Oliver Regem, and he definitely stood out there. Another knockout win with the Regem combo, and of course 2 true fan favorites, showing exactly why they are. Respect is shown by Chico despite the disappointment you can see in his face. But you can't take it away from Oliver Regem. A fantastic performance here tonight. And could he be in for another opportunity at the Cruiserweight Championship? I'm sure he'd love another go. We'll have to wait and see how it goes though. Big win for Regem here tonight though. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Durmus, the new fragrance by Durmus. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Darren Jacobs, and before the break, Robert Hall made his way down to the ring, scheduled to take up. Oh God, no! We were supposed to be taking on James Rowley, but it looks like Tyson Jackson has taken his own initiative here, and he's going to step into the ring with Robert Hall. And look at this, these two now going at each other. These two been trading shots for weeks, and now these two colliding in the ring. Trading shots, and look at this, shoving the referee off, and they just shoot each other in the eyes right there. The referee calling for assistance, trying to break these two up, but these two really going for it. Oh, look at this, was taunting right in Tyson Jackson's face, and Robert Hall almost was made to pay for it. And the referee has left the arena. This is not a real match. These two are not competing against each other. And it just shows the animosity is built, and this has all started over the hardcore title. But I think it's become a lot more than that for these two, Robert Hall and Tyson Jackson, growing a grudge for one another. Jackson might pay here for this ambush. Big double knees there by Robert Hall, making him pay there with the knees. And I don't think he's done there. Tyson Jackson might just regret ambushing Robert Hall tonight. Follows through, and spinning heel kick right to the skull. Lights out for Tyson Jackson. Well, I guess this match isn't going to happen, but it looks like these two want it to happen. These two colliding for weeks on end, and it looks like these two are not done with each other just yet. Tyson Jackson and Robert Hall, could we be seeing that at the next Mayhem pay-per-view? We'll have to wait and see, but it looks like these two just can't wait to get their hands on one another. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, before the huge main event of the tag team title rematch, we've got a big match here requested by the European champion Mason Foster. He wanted to go one-on-one with JW Cashman, and as you can see by the smile on his face, he obliges. As you saw at the Resurrection pay-per-view, Siler Jordan took on Mason Foster for the European Championship, and what was a fantastic match between the two. Really back and forth, but right as it looked as if Siler Jordan was about to take the upper hand and win the European title, JW Cashman, who could not accept the fact that he lost the championship opportunity, stepped into the ring, took the initiative to take out both Cashman and Siler Jordan, and Mason Foster, in an angry rage, decided afterwards, after healing up, he wants to step into the ring with JW Cashman. And no surprise, he wants to take his frustrations out. Siler Jordan, we haven't seen since that match, but you can't imagine he's the happiest man alive. He finally got his shot at the championship after working a whole month to get that chance, and then for it to be taken away by the same man that he beat for the opportunity. Someone else who I'm sure isn't happy, but at the same time, he could be slightly grateful, because it did look towards the end of that contest as if he was going to lose the European Championship. But thanks to the interference from JW Cashman, he keeps the title. And I'm sure Mason won't see that way. He's a fighting champion. He has been his entire reign. And I'm sure he will not see it quite like that. I'm sure he thought that he might have been able to fight back, but still, it was an incredible contest until the interruption. And an unhappy Mason Foster, as you can see on his face there, is ready to get some revenge on his behalf of Siler Jordan as well. Travis, of course, Cashman's business associate, has joined him down here at ringside. But these two have really made a name for themselves, and they have caught the attention of the European champion. And I tell you what, a win here tonight could go a long way in cementing something here. Mason Foster hasn't looked that... Oh dear, and Cashman sliding around the ring. Little eager to get going, and so is Mason Foster, who comes down with a knee smash and a beautiful leg toss to start us off. Cashman, of course, as I said, just couldn't accept the fact that he had to, that he lost the match. He couldn't accept the fact that Mason Foster had got the job done. That Siler Jordan got the job done against him in their #1 contenders match. Big suplex there by JW Cashman. He just couldn't accept the fact. And of course, Mason Foster in the end, or Siler Jordan in the end, paid the price for that. And Travis and Cashman, look at this. Mason Foster become really tactical here, working away on the legs. But look at Travis already getting himself involved. And the fact that Travis has got his top off should show you all of the intentions that he has in this match. It's given Cashman enough time to recover. But once again, Mason doing a fantastic job working away on the legs. And he's been favoring that for quite some time now since coming back, working on the legs. And it's an early 1 count there. And Foster in early control. And to be honest, I'm kind of a bit concerned about Mason Foster here. If Cashman and Siler Jordan are both going to go to this length to get the job done, then Mason should be concerned, because I'm not being funny. Mason hasn't looked particularly impressive since returning back to the roster. Yes, he won on the go-home show, and at the pay-per-view, he had a fantastic performance. But he did look shaky at times. He made a lot of mistakes, quite a few errors, and he was made to pay for them at times. And he could have lost the championship had it not been for Cashman's intervention. So Mason Foster, he needs to take... he needs to recuperate here. Really needs to show himself off again. One of the greatest European champions we've had. But he's in the hunt for the world title. And if he's ever going to get that world title, he's got to show that he can take on all threats. Look at that! Beautiful moonsault there. Didn't quite get the leap he was looking for, but he definitely got the height and the distance that he wanted. Very nicely done by Foster. So for Foster here, I think this was just a matter of pride. Despite the fact that Cashman helped him to retain the title, this was a matter of pride. He didn't want to go that way. He wanted to go the right way. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet for a wrestler, Mason Foster, colliding right now with Cashman out of matter of pride and respect to his opponent, despite the cheap shot that Siler Jordan pulled off just a week before, well, just a show before their contest at the pay-per-view. And I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing Siler Jordan compete again against Mason Foster, because it was one fantastic match. Looking for the submission hold now, but very close to the ropes. Cashman does very well there to reach out for it. Well saved. And now Travis getting himself involved here. The referee had time to get rid of the chair there while Travis was distracting Foster. He's given him some time to recuperate here. Oh, look at this. The referee now biting into Travis's distraction. And it's giving Cashman a second to get up here, but not enough time to give him the advantage. And Mason just close to putting him away here. You can sense it. What's Mason thinking here? Look at this. Once again, working away on the arms now. And Mason just being very, very strategical here with his movements, picking and choosing his fights. Was thinking the submission again there, but well sidestepped by JW Cashman, who really hasn't got going here in this battle. Oh, look at that. Went for a spine buster. Well counted, though, by Cashman. Can Cashman now find some offense in this match? Snap suplex. Very nicely done. Travis celebrating with him. Travis been a big help for Cashman here in this matchup, has to be said. Beautiful blow down. JW, Cashman, and Travis, their alliance has caused a lot of problems for Mason Foster and Siler Jordan over the last couple of weeks or so. And I'm sure tonight won't be any different. A big single leg takedown there from JW Cashman. And Travis once again getting himself involved. And surely now the referee's going to have to start getting himself involved and saying something here. And Travis, look at that, trying to mock it here. Oh, but he might make a mistake here. Huge mistake. Trying to show off in front of Travis, trying to silence him. And instead, a big counter and a way to capitalize by Cashman. Suplex into the brainbuster. And Mason's made a huge mistake. And I think he knows it. Could be lights out for him. $1 million show! Just fell short. And he couldn't catch it on the second attempt. Big mistake there by Cashman. And now the DDT by Mason Foster. Straight into the cover. Is that going to be enough to get him out of here? No, it's not. It's a big kick out. Huge mistakes made on both ends. Oh, look at this, Mason. Being smart. One didn't work. He's going to try it again here. And look at this. Straight back in to the DDT. Beautiful connection once more. Straight into the cover. Just away from the ropes. And Foster. No! What? Two of them. Two massive DDTs. And Cashman is still in this match. And look at Travis. Looking very confident now on the outside, despite still being under the pressure here. Cashman really needs to start fighting back. Missed his best opportunity with the $1 million shot. And I'm sure if that had connected, that would have turned the whole tide of the match. But right now, Mason Foster in complete control. Cashman in pure survival mode. Oh, gets caught taunting right in the face. Roll up here. Look at the lag. It's been a lot of punishment here. And Foster is able to survive. Cashman is able to survive. But how is Cashman surviving? Mason not quite targeting the legs or anything anymore. It's just been an all-out brawl for the last couple of minutes. Massive powerbomb there by Cashman. Travis has definitely kept Cashman alive, but him kicking out of both those DDTs says a lot. But that says a lot as well. Only a 1 count for Cashman, and I think that's the most worrying thing he's seen all day. Mason Foster, the European champion. I said he needed to come out here and prove why he is still champion. And to be honest, he's done that so far. But Cashman refusing to go away, refusing to be beaten here. And Mason must be worrying here. Two massive DDTs. He's pulled off some of his best shots here tonight. And still, it might not be enough. Cashman looking to put him to bed now. $1 million shot! The massive strike across the jaw. Travis thinks it's over. Look at his face on the other side. Rolls him over into the cover. Is that enough to knock him out? No, it's not. It's a 2 count. $1 million shot. It doesn't get the job done. And I think he thought for certain there he had done it. Now going to show off his natural cruiserweight abilities there. A beautiful middle rope Phoenix Splash. Now look at this. Full head of steam here. And Cashman all of a sudden has found a second wind here in this matchup. Mason Foster needs to be worried now because Cashman's starting to fight back. He's starting to fight back with some sheer strength. Irish whip now to the corner. Foster. Good place to have Cashman. And now look at this. Just going to lay down the chop. Very nicely done. Travis, a little concerned now on the outside. He thought he had it one up earlier there, Mason. On Mason, but Mason was able to find a way to kick out. Was thinking suplex there, Cashman. What a battle this has been, by the way. A fantastic contest, but we might be near the end. Hook of the arms again for a third DDT. Straight into the cover. Hook of the leg. And Mason gets the job done. JW Cashman, despite his best efforts, couldn't conquer the European champion tonight. Huge, huge victory against Mason Foster, and poor man facing Foster had to go for a lot there just to stop, to make sure the referee made the count. Almost lost it there with the $1 million shot, but 3 DDTs later, and Mason Foster wins tonight's contest. And he did so very confidently. Wait, hang on. Travis has taken off his trousers. He's in his ring gear. This looks dangerous. Oh, I don't trust this. Oh, wait, what? Oh, my God, they're shaking hands? A sign of respect there from Travis. That doesn't seem right. Oh no, that seems more like it. Travis flattening the winner of tonight's match, the European champion, taken out here, and listen to the crowd. They are not happy. I thought for a second there that Travis had changed the lines, but it didn't look like, I didn't think that'd be that case for long. And now Travis to the outside brings in a chair, and now Cashman and Travis. Oh no, look at this! Silent Jordan to the rescue on the European champion. And Cashman and Travis retreat. Silent Jordan checking on Mason. This is getting out of hand. The situation between these four is getting absolutely out of hand, and no one can seem to get in the way of this and stop these guys from attacking each other. What does this mean now for the European Championship picture? I have no idea. I guess we'll have to find out in the coming weeks, but it is time to move on down the rest of the card. An unexpected but huge main event tonight. Durmus and Black Jesus, the League of Gods, choosing to cash in their rematch clauses for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships tonight in the main event. And surprisingly, this isn't even the only title match of the night. The second title match of the night after the Hardcore Championship cash-in earlier. But the question is, will it be the second title change of the night? Here come the former champions, the League of Gods, who decided they didn't want to wait 4 weeks to get one more shot at the Wolfpac. The League of Gods versus the Wolfpac 3 begins now, when it's only for one set of titles. It's for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. They lost the Mayhem and Fight Night Tag titles at Resurrection. They knew they weren't going to be entitled to another go at the Fight Night ones, but the general manager gave them one more shot at the Mayhem ones, and they've decided not to wait. They want to do it now. A fantastic contest, one of the best matches of the night at Resurrection between these two teams, just like it was at Insomnia. But in the end, the Wolfpac got the upper hand, and tonight, making their debuts as Mayhem Tag Team Champions, the Wolfpac defend for the first time. This is a huge matchup, ladies and gentlemen. I don't need to tell you how much is on the line here. A huge matchup tonight. And the Mayhem Tag Team Champions now making their way to the ring for the first time with the red and gold titles around their waist. The 3-time now Fight Night Tag Team Champions, and for the first time in their career they are now Mayhem Tag Team Champions as well. Huge history being made here from the Wolfpac. 4 tag team title reigns with 2 different tag team titles now to add to their record book. They have been a fantastic team here in WIW, and it never seems to amaze me how amazing they are as a team. David and Steve, one of the most lethal combinations of partners that we have in this company. And tonight they defend those newly won Mayhem Tag Team titles for what could be their last time squaring off with the League of Gods for quite some time here in the Mayhem Tag Division. Oh, and maybe just in tag team wrestling in total. The League of Gods made a big decision to cash in their rematch clause tonight, but the Wolfpac happy to oblige and make their Fight Night Mayhem Tag Team debuts. The Mayhem Tag Team Championships on the line, and only the Mayhem Tag Team titles on the line here in tonight's main event of the evening. The challengers, the League of Gods, have made a bold decision and a bold statement, cashing in their rematch clause tonight at the first time that the Mayhem Tag Team titles will be defended on Monday Night Mayhem. And these two are trying their hardest to get them back, representing Mayhem here tonight. This is their home turf. Can they use the home advantage to win back the titles from the current champions, of course? Their first stint as Mayhem Tag Team Champions, and I'm not sure how happy they'd be if it was only a day long. Steven and David can't argue with statistics. One of the statistically the best tag team in WIW history. But the question is, can they continue to make more history here tonight by defending the Mayhem Tag Team Championships in tonight's huge main event as the rematch clause is initiated? And they know full well, if they defend tonight the championships, their League of Gods are out of their radar, and then they can go back to defending the Mayhem title separately and the Fight Night title separately. The champions of both brands, but only one title on the line tonight. Will the Wolfpac be able to hold on, or will Durmus and Jesus find a way to get the job done? A huge main event gets underway, and once again, just like at Resurrection, Steven and Durmus getting us underway here in this matchup. And I'll tell you what, at Resurrection, I think that was my personal favourite match of the night. A fantastic battle between two of the top teams here in WIW, and I'm expecting the same again here tonight. I'm not expecting any less than an amazing match between the two. Durmus and Black Jesus clearly feel they would have the upper hand here on their home brand, and of course they were perfectly eligible to cash in their Mayhem rematch clause. Of course, they've lost the rights to the Fight Night Tag Team titles, so regardless of the result tonight, David and Steve will still be the Fight Night Tag Team Champions. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure I already know who they should be taking on the Fight Night brand for those Tag Team titles. Surely, the eligible candidates are the Death Ninjas. Undefeated so far in Season 2, they've been absolutely dominant in most of their matches. I can't imagine why they wouldn't get another shot at the Wolfpac with their current form. Steve trying to prevent the tag early on, and trying to keep themselves fresh. Steve, of course, very much was targeted in the torso section last time out. He was crashed into that exposed turnbuckle several times, and surprisingly still healthy. Hasn't re-injured his chest or torso region. He is here and healthy and ready to compete. Steve, we know, has struggled with injuries in the past, but it hasn't slowed him down at all. And as proof there with a beautiful superplex off the top, and following through, brainbuster. It was Steven and Dave that got the job done at Resurrection. Will the same result happen tonight? Steven and Dave have never lost a rematch clause match officially, as either tag team champions or the ones cashing in the rematch clause themselves. They've always been successful, and they sure as hell won't want to disappoint here again tonight. Huge tag there by Durmus. In comes the powerhouse of the League of Gods with a massive shoulder tackle and a big boot to follow through. Full showing of strength and power on display. And look at this now. Look at this. The strength on display, the submission hold, but he flicks the ropes with his boot. The Wolfpac weren't expecting this sudden lease of life here as they exploded back into the ring. And he's going to tag out as well, and the powerhouses collided again. And it was some of the best moments of their match at Resurrection when these two were in the ring with each other. And look at this once again. Black Jesus going to get an early upper hand on David. The two true powerhouses of their teams. David very much the anchor of the Wolfpac, where everyone else has been, you know, in and out of the title pictures. David has constantly, wow, I can't believe I just said that, constantly been in the title picture. He has won the 4 tag team titles with 2 different partners. One, of course, with Steve, and, well, 3, of course, with Steve, sorry, and 1 with Alex Wilson, but Steve went straight back into taking the reins of the tag team titles. And look at this tag team work again by the Wolfpac. David and Steve, lifetime best friends. All of the Wolfpac, lifelong best friends, minus Alex Wilson, of course, the newest recruit, as King Sam's protege, who failed to win it at Resurrection themselves. But these two didn't fail to disappoint. Beautiful crossbody there by Steven. And I think he landed funny on his arm there. Had to give himself a little bit of a push-up just to get himself back into control. The Wolfpac, one of the greatest teams in WIW, if not the greatest. 4 tag team title reigns, 2 different tag team titles, 3 different partners capturing the gold. The only person of the Wolfpac not to hold the tag team titles is their leader, of course, King Sam. Massive spinning back fist, catching David off guard, and it might just get the job done here. Straight into the cover. Do we have new tag champs? No, we don't. For Durmus and Black Jesus, this would be, if they win tonight, their second stint as Mayhem Tag Team Champions. Their first reign went on for very long. And now look at this, the spinning powerbomb, which we thought almost done it at the pay-per-view. It could have done it at the pay-per-view if the referee was still standing. David back to his feet very quickly, though. Very nicely done there. And now into the corner, makes the tag. And we could be looking at the end already. Black Jesus in a lot of trouble here, sleeping with the walls. Perfectly done. Planted down, straight into a cover, and Durmus isn't going to be able to break it up. Yes, he is. Just missed the first breakup attempt, but managed to recover. Huge kick out there by Black Jesus. And this battle continues, trying to tag David back in here, but Steve wasn't able to. And now up on the shoulders, Steve's in a bad place here. Look at the strength on display, and a massive breaker there by Black Jesus, who wisely tags out, and in comes Durmus. The Greek god and golfer stepping into the ring again. He's finally had his first taste of gold with the tag team titles around his waist, and I'm sure he will do whatever he can to get that back. It's been an amazing night of action so far, and I knew that the main event wouldn't disappoint. And so far, it's lived up to the hype. Beautiful rolling super kick by Stephen Thomas. And now into the corner, looking to make the tag again. Maybe a second, sleeping with the Wolves. One for Black Jesus, and now one for Durmus as well. Sleeping with the Wolves, straight into the collar. Is Jesus going to be able to get there and break it up? He is. And now David going to take out his frustrations. That's a second time now that they would have had the free count. But a second time it's been broken up. And look at the power on display by Black Jesus again. And the referee forcing Black Jesus out of the ring. And both legal men are down. Black Jesus keeping the match alive again. The League of Gods have really struggled here. The Wolfpac with complete control and completely have had the upper hand so far. And now the Greek god Durmus. Beautiful work there. And now look at this, playing to the crowd as if they're in control. He might live to regret that. Mistake, but look at this. Now Durmus flying in. Finding a little bit of energy here. David misses the clothesline. And beautifully placed down with a spine buster there. Oh, and a nice little air thrust for style as well from Durmus. Now in the bottom rope. A bad place to be here, Durmus. Look at this. Oh, what a beautiful leg drop. The third encounter between these two with the titles on the line. And now look at this. Durmus with a full head of steam and momentum. Drops down the disco elbow. And straight into the cover. Is this going to be enough? David's in trouble here. No, it's a massive kick out at two. And Stephen felt as if he didn't need to get involved there. And he made the right decision. But that would have been a dangerous one had he not have got there. Big DDT there by Durmus. Durmus, what's the game plan here? To the corner. Maybe thinking Greek bomb to David. That's exactly what they're going for. Set up perfectly. David on his own. Beautifully placed down with the elbow. Greek bomb. Straight into the cover. Do we have new tag team champions? At 2, he breaks it up. And Steve having to break it up again. But that might have left him vulnerable to Durmus. Durmus now under fire from Stephen. But Stephen tossed out. And look at this, the League of Gods both hyping themselves up here. They're sensing the tide is turning back in their favor. David and Steve, they have them in a good place right now. They're in a bad spot, and look at this big drop down from David. Remember the Mayhem tag team titles on the line. Another spinning back fist. David back to his feet. Very nicely done. Oh, look at this beautiful suplex. No, well countered. And now look at this beautiful strike. I'm saying beautiful a lot in this match, but it really is perfection watching these two fight. Up on the shoulders now. David trying to fight back. There's a big gut buster. And following through with a senton. Straight into the cover now. Off of that, do we have the retaining of the tag team titles? No, we don't. 1 count. David and Steve having to work a lot harder than I think they thought. They came in, exploded into this match. They did a fantastic job starting us off. But it's slowed down since then, and David and Steve have watched Durmus and Black Jesus creep their way back into this matchup in style. And now David sets him up perfectly, looking for the package pile driver onto the knee. Very nicely done. Straight away makes the tag. Back in comes Stephen, who hypes up the crowd here. The Wolfpac are here on Mayhem once again. And King Sam, of course, not here with them. Only David and Steve as champions are allowed to be on the red brand at this moment. And now look at this. Beautiful powerbomb. I thought maybe he was going to go for the spinner. He didn't. And Durmus, look at this, tied on the outside, but Can't argue that Black Jesus has done a lot of the heavy lifting here in this tag team championship match, and yet it doesn't look like he's going to show signs of slowing down just yet. These two now scrapping away the fist of... Oh, wait a minute, look at this! From behind! Patrick Green! The linebacker is here! What the hell is he doing? Wiping out the legal men. This match is ending in disqualification, and now look on the outside. Xander wiping out Durmus. What on earth is going on here? Hold on a minute now, David. Trying to get inside the ring, trying to save his partner, but no avail. Look at this, just beat down by the linebacks, who have just taken out everybody here right now. What the hell is going on? And look at this, Jesus trying to get back to his feet. Oh, but no. Oh, and now a chair as well. And this is an absolute beatdown by the former Mayhem Tag Team Champions, the linebacks. It looks like they have made their return to the roster again, and have just beaten down the tag team champions and the #1 contenders, the League of Gods. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is what's going to end our show. A crazy return of the linebacks and a huge ending to this match in disqualification. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next one, where I guess we have a lot of unanswered questions. Peace.